This is my office in here. Come on, follow me in. I'll show you a couple of things. This was a film, a modern film I did called Colpo Maestro, and in Italian, each place has it's a big bank robbery and all. Every country calls it a different name. I played two characters. I played an actor in that one and a bank president from England in the other one. And now over here, there's the first film that I wrote, directed, and produced called Jesse and Lester, two brothers in a place called Trinity. Those two are myself and the fellow who played my half-brother, Donald O'Brien, a very fine actor. Oh, here I am. Look at this. This is when I was recently in Syria with the French actress. What's her name again? Very well-known actress, French actress. Can't remember her name. Big famous actress, one of the biggest in France.
Catherine Deneuve?
Catherine Deneuve, yes. It's us in Syria. A very sweet person, very nice. So, anyway, this is, I read my books and do my little things. My favorite thing in life is to have good conversation and read a good book. I love to read about history, about the brain, neurology. I like to read about the presidents. I love history. I like to read anything that will teach me something. I think life is, if nothing else, it's to learn from the beginning to the end. I think we should always try to learn more and more and have an understanding of people, including ourselves. I think it's not easy to even understand ourselves, let alone other people. I don't go to the movies hardly ever. I've lost the taste for them, really. One thing I think they make a mistake is they're always showing actors outside of their role. And when they had their studios, you saw the actors in films, and anything else was kind of staged, so you never saw the actors out of character. Now you see them, they might be playing some elegant 007, let's say, then you see them in person, they might look like bums. In fact, I think some of the actors do, and I think it takes away. I think that you lose the mystery. I think the imagination is so important. I loved radio, and I still do. I remember all the voices, and all the wonderful voices. And I miss that, because I think the imagination is so important. I found it very interesting that many people didn't understand that, let's say, American film, Gladiator or 007 would cost millions and millions of dollars, and some of the films we did overseas would cost very little money. But for them, it didn't matter. They said, well, I like this film better, and it cost $50 million. Maybe a film we did cost $300,000. But maybe they took 6 months to shoot, maybe we took 4 weeks to shoot. Because certain films, whether you took more money or more time, spent a little more money, it didn't matter. They'd make the same amount of money. So you had to calculate all that, and the locations and that. It was interesting that I remember one time in the Philippines, I went over there and I did some cheap films, action films, and the producer asked me, he said, Richard, how about the next film we get you a partner to work with? And I said, okay, fine with me. He said, what do you think of Paul Newman? I said, I beg your pardon? Paul Newman, what do you think of him being in your next film? Because in the Philippines, my film or a Paul Newman film made the same money. They didn't realize that Paul Newman was a superstar. And I said, well, his living expenses are probably as much as your whole film costs. He didn't believe me. Because for him, I mean, he knew his market, he didn't know the world market. And he didn't know, for example, so many people think, oh, I can make a film for $1 million. Well, that doesn't mean anything nowadays, because for the studios, they have to spend maybe $20 or $30 million to market a big film. And if it's a little film, why would they want to waste money to market a little film? America, United States, made film to make money. Very seldom do they make art films, because art films don't make money. You take people like Henry Fonda, for example. He produced one film called 12 Angry Men, a fantastic film. Didn't make any money. It's the last film he ever produced. Wonderful film. Usually people, just the good films don't make money. And I was amazed that some of the films we made over in Europe and in different places, that they did very well box office wise, because they entertained. And when people, it seems that when people go to cinema, they want to really escape. They don't want to think, and they don't want to learn. So I realized that cinema is not to learn. Documentaries are to learn. Books are to learn. But not cinema. Cinema is a purely entertainment for the people to come to. So I do enjoy on television. I do think television will get more and more big, and I don't think cinema will, my own opinion. But I do think they have some very good things on television, documentaries and series, short series and that, where you can learn something. But people just really don't. They want to be entertained, and as you know, reading is going down, down, down. Of course, I think reading is the greatest. I'd rather read than anything else, except have good conversation. I think people get together and have a good conversation. It's wonderful. So I'd say I really don't go to the cinema anymore, but I always find something good to see on television, and I turn on, I tape it, and when I'm in the mood, I'll look at it. Usually they're old films, and some very good documentaries and some very good short series they do. Listen, Khalid Khan, why don't we go have something to eat now? I think you're tired, and I promise you a little pasta here. It's a beautiful day, and I think it's time now for you to relax a little bit and enjoy yourself at the table. And some good pasta, Italian pasta, which I learned very well to make when I was in Italy.
Where do you want to do that? Oh, I don't know, you had the camera on. Okay, it's dark. So you want some pasta?
Okay, thank you very much.
Heat up,
This
nice
is
pasta.
penne with artichokes. I'll give you some, okay?
Penne, yes.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Make it nice and hot.
Okay. Okay.
Very good.